so it's gonna shine down daylight. Already, right off the bat, it kind of reminds me a bit of the opening of How Did You Love? Like, I'm kind of singing How Did You Love in my head right now when that goes on.
I was diagnosed with a fear of getting too close. Had to tell the ones I love I was on the ropes. I'm not the only one whose life's been pulled apart. Spending 1 year and 3 months in the dark. So here we are, all dressed to kill. Where should we go? Into the wild again to face the great unknown. And have the midnight conversations you and I postpone. You saved my life, not once but twice. You keep me free from falling. You saved my life, make it all alright. When I don't feel like talking, you make sure I always see the daylight.
I like the vibe. And then verse
It's
2.
amazing what the hard times can reveal. Like who shows up, who walks away, and who's for real.
Amen.
So take me on, I'll take the wheel, and we can both outrun the past. We will always live forever if we don't look back. You saved my life, not once but twice. You keep me free from falling. You saved my life, make it all alright. When I don't feel like talking, you make sure I always see the daylight.
This has a bit of a, like an indie folk vibe, eh?
It's amazing what the hard times can reveal. Like who shows up, who walks away, and who's for real. It's amazing what the hard times can reveal. Like who shows up, who walks away, and who's for real. Who shows up, who walks away, and who's for real. You saved my life, not once but twice. You keep me free from falling. You saved my life, make it all alright. When I don't feel like talking, you make sure I always see the daylight.
Man, that was a beautiful song, Rusty. Yeah, that one, I feel like as Brent gets older, he's definitely exploring more avenues with his voice. Like, we've heard, I think, a song from a few records. We've heard Simple Man. We've heard How Did You Love? We've heard some of the new stuff. We've heard Second Chance. Like, we've heard, and I think there's been one or two other ones. But yeah, it's like, it definitely seems like as he gets older, he's like trying out different sides of his voice. And this one just has a real purity to it, you know? And some of the notes he hit were very different, especially the way he usually hits notes was different in this. This one was a bit higher, I think. But yeah, and also just some true lyrics, man. Some absolutely true lyrics. Yeah, I think that kind of really jumps out to me. But yeah, so I'll just actually talk about the song here for a second before I jump in lyrics. But yeah, I thought Brent's voice was fantastic. I thought the vibe was just really beautiful. The drums were very simple but effective, just different. It was like more of like a roll on the snare, like a marching band kind of. And like I said, it has a bit of a folky sound, this one. You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff we actually listened to on the other channel, I feel like this would kind of fit into, actually. Which is kind of interesting because I feel like music nowadays we're really transcending barriers. You know what I mean? In a big way, I feel like we're really transcending barriers. And new artists are throwing out music that could exist on any side of any spectrum. And yeah, it's just interesting. It's hard to know where things go. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this definitely has a bit of that like folky feeling to it. But yeah, on the lyrical end, just really, hard hitting, man. I've been kind of here lately a bit. Whoa, this is a huge album. Yeah, it's produced by Eric Bass. He's produced a couple of their recent records, hasn't he? But yeah, I was diagnosed with the fear of getting too close. Had to tell the ones I loved I was on the ropes. I'm not the only one whose life been pulled apart, whose life's been pulled apart. Spending 1 year and 3 months in the dark. It's kind of interesting too, because that's kind of like the length of time I've been kind of in and out of some anxiety and depression. Last kind of year and a half. Yeah, since like December of 2020. 2021. December of 2021. No, sorry. So yeah, December of 2020 actually. Yeah, that's kind of like I've been up and down a bit. Periods of up, periods of down. And I remember I was talking to somebody today actually, and I got really honest with her in a way that I usually don't with people. I usually don't get honest about my fears. A lot of time I'll be honest about what I've been through, what I'm going through, but when it comes to my fears, I'm uncomfortable about that a bit more. Because that's like, that now targets that like masculinity wound in me. Like I always want to be like a strong man, you know what I mean? A lot of men feel that pressure to be strong. And so I remember I told her today, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of like afraid that I'm like, whatever's happening to me is like breaking me. You know what I mean? Like, is it irreparable? Irreparable, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of us kind of have that fear, is like, especially because I was somebody that I've went through suicidal times. Like I was extremely suicidal back in 2017 and 2018, I believe. It was for about a year and a half. Kind of like what Brent's saying. But before and after that, I wouldn't have never said I was someone who struggled with anxiety or depression. You know, that was more of a circumstantial depression. My life was just falling apart and I was dealing with a lot of shit. But I would never consider myself someone who's dealt with like an anxiety disorder or a depressive disorder. And so I was telling her today, I was like, man, but if you look at my track record for the last 2 years, you know, is that my new reality? And if it is, I'm kind of terrified. Because, yeah, I kind of can relate to people that have been depressed for their entire lives because it's terrifying. You never know when you're going to be okay or when you're going to fall apart. It just kind of like jumps up at you randomly, and it's really difficult to plan your life. Even my videos, like sometimes, you know, I'm not in the mood for recording, and usually I just push through because I know I'll be good, because there's usually a reason for my depression or anxiety, if I feel any depression or I feel any anxiety. But lately it's been kind of like random, and it has been tough because I'm like, how much time do I take off? Is this going to be my new reality for a year? I can't just take a year off of recording. Like usually I would take like a week or two off, you know what I mean? At the most a month. Like I took a month off earlier last year. But I'm like, yeah, just things are going in a way that I don't know how I can plan around anything anymore. Like, and I think I know what's going on. I think I know the reasons for why I'm feeling some depression and anxiety, but I'm not completely sure. Because what also kind of, makes me afraid is, what if I fix all the things I think are broken and then I'm still unhappy? That sucks. Because then you really have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, something else is going on, something deeper. Maybe there's something that I'm unwilling or unaware of, or yeah, unknown to me. You know what I mean? So I can definitely see how depression and anxiety is very, really difficult for people. Especially if you're in a relationship, if you love somebody. You when you were dating them, you were good, you were happy, your relationship was good, you showed up, you were good, you were confident, you were strong, you were attractive. And then let's say you deal with depression or anxiety, it's like, I don't know when I'm gonna fall apart. I don't know when I'm gonna just not want to look at the world. I don't know when I'm just gonna not want to get out of bed. And I'm terrified of my partner kind of seeing that side of me for too long. Because what I want to say is, hey, I'm just going through something. I'll be back to normal soon. But what happens when normal becomes inverted? And normal is pain. And then you're terrified of everyone kind of leaving you. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely tough stuff. But yeah, man, amazing song. But what were your thoughts? Let me know down below. And what are your favorite Shinedown songs? What should we check out next? As always, let me know and we'll jump on some of those. And lastly, I want to do a big shout out to my tier 3 patrons. So we got Laura, Melissa, Brianna, Adam, Amber, Daphne, Francis, Gage, Kelly, Rush, Sharon, and David. So shout out to all of you guys. I'll see everybody again tomorrow. I love you.